Morning guys, Friday the 27th of November. A client this morning that I supervise, so we were exploring some of the work she's doing and her feelings around that, some of the work that she's choosing to let go of because she's looking to gain more balance in her life. Some of the work she's loving and enjoying, but at the same time looking to manage that more effectively for herself, to give herself more time and space. And then she was also sharing about some frustrations about some of her work, and one piece of her work, some of the young people that she's working with, and one in particular, and actually listening to her frustrations, but at the same time the passion and the dedication she has for that young person, and the commitment to really raising the issues, the safeguarding level, and not letting that go either. I really was really inspired, because I've got no doubt that she is, I think she's potentially saved a young person's life, in terms of what they shared and what she's tried to put in place for them. And then she was talking about some other work she'd done and how much she had implemented in literally, less than 2 weeks. And so part of this process, I was really acknowledging her, really enabling her to just really look at, what she's achieved, what qualities she's brought, and really seeing her and hearing her, and getting her to, be able to acknowledge the value in herself. And I've always said, I just think that, acknowledging is such a massive piece, so important in life to, we all on some level need to be seen, need to be heard, need to be made to feel that we count, that we can make a difference, that we are of some importance. And I was also thinking that it doesn't, have to be what you might perceive to be the big things or big demonstrations. Well, big actions. It can be, the smaller things that maybe people don't even always think about, or that can make a big difference, or that makes an impact. So smiling at somebody, saying thank you, reminding somebody of why they're important, what they do is important, letting that person out of the junction when you're driving. It's like they're on the face of it, they can appear to be what I call smaller actions, but actually small actions have power to make a big difference to somebody's day, to their life, to know that somebody else took the time out to see them, to acknowledge them, to see them really. And I think to be able to do that, you need to be able to notice and be aware. You can only, be if you like, acknowledging and being, I think, more conscious if you're more aware. And to be more conscious and more aware is to slow down. I think it's to give yourself time to get curious, to notice, to reflect, to really take in what's around you. And to do that, you, to some extent, you also need to quieten your mind. Need to slow your thought processes down, because when your mind is so full up of the chatter, you are so impacted on that you're not really you've what I've called, you've fallen asleep. You're not really awake. You're not present to what's going on around you. That's why I think it's good to have, for example, your phones turned off, or not be, even when you're travelling. I understand that people do use now their phones for all sorts of reasons, and I get that, but I think there's times where if you're doing that, you've got so much of a stimulus coming in, you're almost then not noticing your environment around you. I remember saying to a few people, just going back sometime last year, I think it was, I was, maybe the year before, I was at a train station, and I was sort of on my way down to London, and I remember I was waiting on the platform itself, and something came over I thought I heard something come over the tannoy saying that whichever train we were waiting for, the platform had been moved, so we had to move to a different platform to get the train. And I remember looking around and thinking, you sort of know on level what you've heard, but then because I looked and not one single person looked up or moved or made any kind of move to show that they'd heard what I'd heard, I remember having a moment of thinking, did I actually imagine that? And so I sort of moved a bit closer to the screen to see, just clarify what it said on the screen, and then I saw that it did say it would do, we had to move to another platform. And I remember then sort of looking at a few people and saying, oh, did you hear that? We've got to move. And then eventually people started to obviously look up or see other people, what they were saying, look at the platform, and eventually they realised. But what struck me was nobody in that moment, nobody heard the information, nobody actually sort of got it, because they were all so immersed on it was basically because they were all immersed on their devices in their own world to such an extent that they'd not heard and seen anything else around them. And I just think sometimes if you do that too much, you can almost what I call fall asleep to other things that are going on around you, and I think you can miss so many wonderful, beautiful things in life. You can miss, the amazing outfit that somebody's wearing. You can sort of miss the sounds and the smells. I think you just miss the everyday sort of moments and the joy that you can find in any of those moments. So that's my sort of my musing, if you like, and my thought really for today. Just take time to slow down, come off your devices, but also just be more conscious and more aware of what you can do, even in the small things, to just acknowledge, to connect, to make a difference, because actually you don't know how much of a difference that moment can make, which to somebody else might seem so small and insignificant. And I'm always really aware and conscious of that. So have the rest of a fruity, funky Friday. Come out there, world. It's cabbages. And I shall speak to you later, guys. Bye.